Welcome back to the See It Now podcast, a 15-minute review of a movie near you. My name is Michael,
And I'm Don. Welcome back.
and we are back and better than ever. Mr. Don Gibson, what are we potting about today?
It's one battle after another. Paul Thomas Anderson's latest opus, after his long hiatus from something like 4 or 5 years.
I cannot wait. I feel like I'm living in one battle after another sometimes. But before we get into one battle after another, we need a cue.
The Grateful Dead.
She's got everything we like for. She's got everything I need.
Mr. Don Gibson, we are doing one battle after another. Give us a synopsis about what this film is all about.
Well, it's a complicated question. It's also a simple question. It's about revolutionaries that in battle against the evil empire tanks and Republican agenda items, and we can say all that political stuff. And then we flash forward to the future, or is it today, where they're looking for this girl that's been uh, uh, somehow been created. We don't know who the father is, and I was I started getting irritable at minute 10, and I just descended. The person I went with got a little irritated with me because I was muttering a lot during the film. Benicio del Toro. He's a secondary character. He's kind of primary in the middle of the film. I thought his character was wonderful. I thought he was entertaining. I thought he played perfectly to his role. Um, and I just loved how he just kind of was a character that sort of drifted in and drifted out of the film. And that's I'm kind of running out after that.
Really incredible. I actually, is that all you have to say about some of the positives of the one
Well,
battle
I
after
mean, listen,
another?
the cinematography is wonderful, and all the stuff he does, the long tracking takes that we go character to character. He uses music wonderfully to build and maintain a consistent tension. But for me, the lack of a story made this Paul Thomas Anderson doing Paul Thomas Anderson, kind of like what's happened to Wes Anderson now, where he's Wes Anderson's doing Wes Anderson's rather than making new films. So I found it was a husk of what he normally does.
Okay. Well, as for me, some of the positive notes, to me, the movie meets the moment. We are in a kind of we're at a tipping point, I think, in the culture. We are about to have maybe a new mayor in New York City. I think there's been some unfortunate moments in terms of assassinations in the culture and other things that are kind of rough around the edges. And I do feel like this film is a character study on the people who are inspiring revolution. The characters were so well developed. They were funny. There was just incredible acting throughout the entire film. Everyone was just so dialed in. Del Toro was excellent. Penn was like excellent. DiCaprio, and I think my thing was I wanted to spend longer time with each character, and I felt like when I left the scene, I was looking for more, which I think is just a telltale of like a really great film and a really great character study. I think I think there's scenes that kind of stuck out to me. I thought the skateboarding scene where DiCaprio was kind of going over the roof was like kind of iconic. I think the music was simplistic and like very bare bones in places where normally there was like be like a lot of large kind of sound effects. I think that just the piano of like the Wizard of Oz piano line that Johnny Greenwood was using in the car chase was just excellent and so incredibly perfect. It allowed for the natural sound to sort of be explored versus just some sort of like larger score that some of these other movies are using. A moment that was incredibly good that will be overlooked, and I think it's a hot take, is when Leonardo DiCaprio got tased. His character got tased. I thought the tasing performance was unbelievable. I've never seen someone be so beautifully tased
Don't tase
like
me,
that.
bro.
He was just so on fire. Anyway, those are why I liked it. Don, you have a pretty different opinion than I. You did not like the film, or you didn't like parts of the film. What parts of this film did you not like?
Well, I want to push back on two things that you said there. You talked about the politics of the film, and it's it was kind of balanced. I thought this was a very clearly a left wing document, and that so I would like to contrasted to Eddington, which is Ari Aster's film, which came out like a month or two ago. And I really found that film engaging. It's very similar. It's about the times we live in. It's more about COVID era, but same sort of violence and, the negative interactions between so many people for no reasons. And uh, they went both sides. I know that film irritated both left and right wing because they just attacked both sides. This one I thought was it glorified left wing politics. So like the Benicio del Toro character, who I really liked, he's just like he's a ninja behind the behind the scenes, and he's he magically can move hundreds of illegal immigrants or people that are we don't know if they're illegal or not, but people are being persecuted by the government and he just can make them disappear. Meanwhile, there's this monstrous evil machine run by Lockjaw that just plows through things. And I thought I thought they were idolizing the left wing, freedom fighters, and saying all the demons that were in the right wing. Um, and then the other thing, oh yeah, the performances. I think this was like a clinic for actors. Like I think actors will love this film, and all the actors that were in the film talk about how much they love being in the film because Paul Thomas Anderson is known for allowing them to, freewheel it. And but I don't think that was accessible to the audience this time. Like he's done this so many times in Magnolia and Punch Drunk and obviously There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis and those actors but the actors are still part of a story. And I just thought like that there was these sex scenes with Lockjaw and the Revolutionary and then also DiCaprio. And I was just like, it seems, I thought it was totally like let's just play around and have fun, but it didn't seem to be in service of a story.
So 1 out of 10, 10 being our most favorite film. My one is definitely, I believe it was Beavis and Butthead Do America. No, I believe my one is Attack of the Clones now, the Star Wars film. My 10 has been There Will Be Blood Forever, another top PTA movie. Don, what is your 1 and 10, just so we can get a kind of a point of reference for everyone?
Yeah, my one is Maverick, the Top Gun one that just I
It's
walked
a
out.
great one. Bad one.
Yeah. And then my 10 would be I'm with you on There Will Be Blood, but also, Aguirre Wrath of God.
Sure. And so, Don, I think with all things considered, and this being kind of an interesting movie to me that's meeting the moment, I'm going to give this movie an 8.5. I think it's excellent. I would definitely highly recommend it. See it now in the movie theater before it's gone because this movie actually needs to make about 150 million more to break even. So you thought you had it bad. These guys are not doing too well right now either. They're probably fine. But
Yeah.
8.5. What do you got?
I don't want to be too tough. Like I'm a huge P.T. Anderson fan. I just adore his stuff. And it's expectations. Life's all about expectations. And I've been told many times, lower your expectations. And I'm a fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Blue Jays as well. And I've always been like, lower your expectations. They're not going to
I mean,
win.
you're Canadian. Lower expectations is part of your culture.
Well, it's just sports, but um, so I was unhappy with this film, and
I think you came in hot, man. I think you came in hot.
I, I'm like I saw the Phantom Thread. That was the last film, and there's so many good things about it. Like this is a three. This is a three for me. I was
3?
yes.
Are
I
you
mean,
kidding me?
listen, understanding that I
It's
love Paul
2 points above Maverick. Give me a break.
Maverick has expectations, and I just the only thing I liked about this film was the chase scene in the end with the rolling road was nicely choreographed. There was some nice stuff there, and Benicio del Toro and my God, what's his name? DiCaprio wore his bathrobe for half the film, and it's like I think it's a take on the dude. They're having fun with it and everything, but it doesn't work. He would have taken his bathrobe off in 2 minutes in. He had it on for half the film, and even those small details
I
just
think we
drove
saw
me
different
nuts.
films.
I've read about this film, and there's so many people that are saying, best 10 rating all his films, and people are putting this number one. I'm like, what's happened to the world? This is not even close to number one. Punch Drunk, Magnolia, and wait, didn't say Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is way better in this film. And then, of course, There Will Be Blood, which is one of the best films ever made.
On a more fun note, I hope, let's take a look at our top three PTA Anderson characters of all time, and I'm going to start off. So we're going to go from one from to three, and I guess three being our favorite character. So Don, what do you
No,
got for
that's
your?
how it goes.
How do we do
Three,
it? How do
it
we do
goes
it?
three up to one. It doesn't go one to
Three up to
three.
one. So you have the top three characters ever in PTA characters.
I do.
Go for it. Who's the first?
We're gonna go back and forth.
Who's the worst? Who's like out of the three the least?
Third,
The third. Yeah.
Officer
Good.
Jim, played by John C. Riley in Magnolia.
Awesome.
I just his character. He opens beautifully. He tells who he is on this video. It's a phone thing, and he's such a sincere person. And he ends up in a loving relationship with a crazy coke addict. And I think it's going to work.
Here's my third. It's a tough call. I think it's between Sean Penn's Lockjaw. I love
Ah,
Lieutenant Lockjaw, and I
ah.
think Tom Cruise's Frankie T.J. Mackey, also in Magnolia, who's incredible. Those two are tied for my third. Love them both. Sean Penn should get the Oscar. But yeah, what's your second? Did you not like what?
Uh,
Do you not like Lockjaw?
no, I did not like Locked. And I gotta say, I didn't like Tom Cruise either. I admired his willingness to do that role, and I admired him not doing a Mission Impossible. I mean, that's pre that stuff. But anyway,
I cheated.
uh,
I guess I got to put two to three. Go ahead. Who's
you
your
did.
second?
So my I was gonna do a tie with Philip Seymour Hoffman, who played the nurse in that movie, who I adored. But anyway, Barry Egan, Adam Sandler's character in Punch Drunk Love. I just that guy trying to get the coupons to figure out a scam, and then he falls madly in love with Emily Watson. I don't like Adam Sandler as an actor. He laughs at his own jokes. He drives me absolutely crazy. This film, he's absolutely magic.
That's a great one. I agree with that one. So my second, I think we have the same first, I'm guessing. But my
Yeah, you're
second
probably right.
is Scotty J, which is Philip Seymour Hoffman in Boogie Nights. The
Oh,
is
he falls in love with
one
Marky
of the
Mark.
all time great characters. So funny, so tragic.
So tragic.
One of the most amazing characters. I mean, obviously him in The Master is also just you got to miss him, man. He is just so fantastic. So who do you have for your? I guess number one is yours.
Well, you're right, Mike, and it's impossible not to call because it's just so incredibly well done, and that brooding energy of Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood is. I mean, everyone does the drink your milkshake stuff, and that's fine. I'm not that stuff's great, but just him sitting alone, realizing this guy is pretending to be his brother on the beach, like his. And what we're gonna do an Enemy Next, like that energy's in that film as well. That intensity is just terrifying, and it's so well delivered.
So Don, per tradition, we have to rate the snack we had, snack or meal we had pre or post the film.
Post.
Don, what did you eat? Um,
I listen. My dinner was amazing. It was at Fat Root, which is in Pleasantville. We saw this at the Jacob Burns Cinema, which is an amazing theater in Pleasantville. We ate at Fat Root, and I had a poke bowl with the salmon, and it was an 8.5.
wow, an 8.5. I'll tell you what,
Delicious.
I had a little snack that was just it's a fun snack, and actually, I had it right before the movie, and I think I want to just shout it out because I did have pizza afterwards, which was we were in Union Square where I watched it, so I did have pizza afterwards. But I want to shout out a great snack that I had before, and it's called string cheese, and I think string cheese is one of the most underappreciated snacks. You can get them at Trader Joe's, you can get them wherever you
It's
want.
beautiful, Mike, but I have to say, string cheese is much better than one battle after another.
Oh my God, I thought the string cheese was excellent. I'm going to give the string cheese a 7.5. Not quite one battle after
Oh.
another, but definitely a delicious little snack.
But
Don,
string cheese is a great transition because there's a band called String Cheese Incident, and they're a dead cover band. So
right, I mean, nice flannel. Grateful Dead fan, Don Gibson over here. Don, we have a movie that we need to review. We need to announce the movie we're reviewing next. And what movie is that?
an enemy. It's the Ronan Day-Lewis, his first film, son of Daniel Day-Lewis, and I want to review that film.
I think Anemone in New York City screening. It is playing at Village East Angelica, still screening there. AMC Lincoln and Jacob Burns Film Theater up near you.
Hell yeah.
We need to cue a certain band that Don just absolutely loves. Dan, who is that band?
String Cheese Incident.
Sneak us out at the